Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Great Debaters Contest. I am your host, Esperancia Kapanga.
And I am Chris Boru. Our intellectual teams today will be debating the motion, traditional university should be replaced by online learning.
Proposing this motion, we have Anestar Precious Girls High School.
Opposing the motion, we have Rongai Agritech High School. Should it or should it not?
Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
When a lady is talking to you, listen to what she says through her eyes. In this force, my intention is to give you my perception and to show the opposers that they should have a paradigm shift. Wanjiru Mwangi from the Anestar Precious Girls High School, here to strongly propose the motion that states traditional universities should be replaced by online learning. According to the Oxford Advanced Learners 9th edition, it shows that traditional universities is the use of teachers to teach higher learning by use of books, pamphlets, and other physical items, whereas replace is to use something or someone in place of another. Online learning is the use of technological devices and the internet to acquire higher learning. So what the motion basically means is that the use of teachers, pamphlets, books, and other physical items should be replaced by the use of technological devices and the internet, which to me is quite sensible. But why? Well, a recent study carried out by Higher Educational Needs of the Washington, D.C. in the year 2013 shows that 6.7 million students are enrolled to online learning. It further showed 77% of educators believe that online learning is just as good as traditional learning, if not better. To expand human logic, when one decides to get online learning, the learner has access to cultural diversity. An online learner gets to interact with members of faculty from different places, from different parts of the world, and gets to learn different world cultures. This makes them, and it trains them to become better world citizens. The learner also has a wide variety of courses to choose from because online learning offers a variety of courses from degree to doctorate forms. And also prestigious courses such as neuroscience can be availed to the learner. So, here's a snapshot of the main differences between online and campus courses. You see, Creative Commons Attribution share alike license together with Massachusetts Board of Education conducted this snapshot, and it showed that in terms of delivery method, online they do it through written content, video discussion groups, and more. Well, too much of something can be dangerous, and the little that I have relayed needs much digestion. My aim was settling for nothing less than to give the judges a pensively pregnant conviction. For what is right, what is left, and what's center, then let it be center. Be the judge. Thank you.
First opposer, you have 3 minutes to make your case.
Should traditional universities be replaced by online learning? No, I don't think so. Standing before you is called Wainaina, representing Rongai Boys Agritech High School, here with the main objective of opposing the motion. Now, to set the ball rolling, let us get the main terms in today's motion. Traditional, habitual way of doing things. Universities are center of education for higher learning. Online, connected via the net. Learning, acquisition of knowledge and skills by studying, learning, or by being taught. All these according to dictionary.com. Now, traditional universities is the passing of information to students face to face in a class learning at a university level, while online learning is a form of distance education which has become the largest sector of distance learning in recent years. Now, firstly, I would like to go to my first point. There is a problem of e-waste that has a mega health hazards. According to David Katiambo, a lecturer at the Technical University of Nairobi, Kenya, states that with online learning, there will be massive importation of electronic gadgets. And with these electronic gadgets comes planned obsolescence, kill chips. And this causes the death of these electronic gadgets. Now, with the death comes the dumping. And this is where the problem arises. According to a study conducted in one of the largest e-waste dismantling areas in China, published in May 2011, states that people exposed to e-waste fumes and chemicals suffered inflammation and oxidative stress that led to cardiovascular diseases, DNA damage, and cancer. Now, take for instance that this e-waste is dumped in the oceans. Won't it pollute our water bodies? Now, this will be against the SDG number 6 of clean water and sanitation. Don't you think so? Secondly, let me give you the reality of internet and phone access in Africa. According to a research done by Nenan Kwanma, the co-founder of the Free Software and Open Source Foundation for Africa, said that 500 MB per month is the minimum needed to access 2 or 3 educational videos per month. And 3% of Africans can access it. Now, this is crazy. You want to replace traditional advice with online learning, yet you can't even afford it. Now, technology is just a tool in terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them. The teacher is the most important. These are not my words. They are Bill Gates' words. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Making simple hard to understand is very simple. But making hard understand simple, well, that takes a really wise person. Fearing to speak out my mind today would be nothing but blasphemy, for fear is the anticipation of all evil. If it was to be written, then it would be deciphered as Diana Mugo from the great Anestar Precious, and I'm here to strongly propose the motion that states traditional universities should be replaced by online learning. It is clear that Kenya expects highly educated, or rather highly knowledgeable students. But we don't just need educated students. We don't just need highly educated students. We need students who can learn how to think beyond, and not just think beyond, but also act beyond. Online learning has given us an opportunity to think, and not just think, but act beyond. Now, why am I saying this? With online learning, we are given the mandate to choose when you're going to study. This is because it gives you an opportunity to know when you have got the time to go and study. It also gives us an opportunity to have jobs. You can be working, and at the same time, you're learning. You'll be using what you learn, and you now use it with whatever it is that you're doing as a job. Now, how does this help? This helps in a way that whatever you're learning, remember, you're applying it in whatever you're doing. And in case it goes wrong, then you're able to inquire. And when you inquire, you learn more. When you learn more, you get more experience. And I believe that any CEO or any director would go for an experienced person rather than a person who is not experienced. Now, according to Learner Organization article, 30% of college students are enrolled in at least one online learning. You know why? Because they've realized that if they depend on these lecturers, they will be wasting time. And tick, tock, the clock continues to tick. life waits for nobody. We all have 24 hours in a day, and regardless of how you use them, they ain't gonna increase, they ain't gonna decrease. It remains 24, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're doing online learning, whether you're in a traditional university. Now, why do I support online learning? We need to save on time. Now, if you look at online learning, strikes do not even happen with online learning. But with traditional universities, there are a lot of strikes. And what does this do? It so happens that a student who is doing online learning will take 4 years to do a course, yet one who is in college will take 10 years to do the same course. And of course, this person will get a job. But do you know which job this one will get? They will get a job of looking for a job. So please, I believe that the Bank of Justice has not yet run bankrupt. Let us write our checks and deposit them in this account, and help me to propose the motion that states traditional universities should be replaced by online learning.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
Steve Jobs says that it's not faith in technology, it's faith in people. My name is Ephantus Kuria from Rongai Agricultural and Technical High School, here to oppose the motion that says traditional universities should be replaced by online learning. Now, first things first, online learning does not involve technology. According to Malot's Journal, Volume 11, true definition, it involves correspondence learning. That is letters and internet. Now, to my first point, in Africa, Fironze Manji, the director of Pan-Africanism Baraza, gives types of education offered in Africa. And if one looks at the continent, 14% of the continent has access to online learning. But when you exclude Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, and South Africa, you are only remaining with 4%. Now, what am I trying to mean? We are only reaching the minority. And our main focus is reaching the majority. Now, we know of the many cases about poverty, rampant poverty in Africa. And so by encouraging online learning, this is like undermining SDG number 1, which suggests that there should be no poverty. To my second point, Sharif Wood, president of the Idaha Education Association, observed that online learning trades teachers for technology. What am I trying to mean? Unemployment. This is a very major word in Africa. We know of many people who are unemployed, and these people the teachers who lose work, most of them are breadwinners for their families. We all know of that. And most of them will end up engaging in social crimes. Most of them will still start robbing, and most of them, their living standards will go low. And this is violation of SCD, not violation, this is undermining SDG number 2, which says zero hunger. And also SDG number 3, good health and well-being. And also SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth. So, as you sit there, ask yourself, should traditional universities be looked down upon? I rest my case.
The proposers have been asked, after having stated that there is more interaction in online learning, don't they think that face-to-face interaction found in traditional university methods actually is what has more interaction and personal touch to it? Then the opposers have been asked, if online learning is not technology, then what is technology to them? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
We all know Kofi Annan. He once said, knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is a premise of progress, not only to the society, but to even as low as an individual. I go by the name Phoebe Mora. The Anestar Precious Girls is the school. To the question, someone asked that traditional university give room for more face-to-face interaction. It is not about face-to-face interaction. Interacting can also mean a wider ground. We need a wider level of interacting. We need to reach out to many people, not you alone. I'm interacting to people of one nation. I need to know who is the president of Somalia. I need to interact with someone outside the boundaries of Kenya. I need to interact with someone outside the boundaries of Africa. Now that is interaction. That is proper interaction. Comrades power. Comrades power. Does that song ring bells? Of course, if it doesn't ring bells, then I'm going to remind you where it comes from. Strikes day in, strikes day out. I'm going to emphasize on what my fella just said. Traditional universities. I'm enrolling in a medicine course taking 6 years. I end up taking 10 years doing the very course. Why? Strikes here and there. We do not want the president. Strikes here and there. Because you are together, so you feel like ganging up together can be easier. If she's studying in Rwanda, I'm studying in US, you can't get to me as to convince to me that I feel my idea is right. I feel we should strike. Why should you waste a longer time? And time is not anyone's friend. We've had this time since eternity, but no matter what you do, this God, in respect to all religion, cannot add to your time just because you are in a traditional university. No, it doesn't happen that way. And another thing, we have a wider field for enrollment of youth in online than in traditional universities. Approximately in every year, we have around 600,000 students sitting for their KCSE examination. But the universities that we have accommodate around 72,000 for the sake of the name qualification. Talk of the regime of Matiang'i. Actually, it has gone down to a percentage of around by 36% approximately are being admitted in the university. What am I saying? We have around 275 plus online universities. Why don't we put our youth into literacy? Why? Why are you denying yourself an opportunity? Let me tell you something. We all want change. But here is the problem. We don't want to bear the pain of transition. Why?
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
I thank you for the blessing of a wonderful day Lord in heaven has granted us this day. And I'm here as Mathias Mwangi from Rongai Boys High School to oppose strongly the motion traditional universities should be replaced by online learning. On to answer your question, my good brother, you asked the importance the term technology. And my brother to my left was answering to the lady over here the importance of technology in online learning. But what she did not do was to tell us that online learning involves only technology, which is very wrong, completely wrong. In the advancement of online learning, we get to know that online learning started due to correspondence learning, which involves use of letters, mails, which were used in China. A good example, in the 1980s, when internet was not yet built, people use letters. Doctors were trained using letters. A teacher, for example, I could write a letter and send it to this lovely man over here. When I send it to him, he has acquired information. I have sent him from one place. You're in Kenya, you're in South Africa. I send that letter to you. We have acquired online. That is a form of online learning. But we are here to debunk this. And that's why I'm strongly opposing this motion. On to my first point. We get to know that online learning is very, very expensive. Let me tell you, young man. In Kenya, a research was carried out by KNBS, which is the Kenya National Bureau of Standards, where they state that 36.1% of Kenyans lie below the poverty line. And to acquire one gadget for online learning, the virtual reality, approximates to $1,200. Is that not costly to the average human being in Kenya? Another thing that is costly about this thing is that every person, if you say that we start ensuring that everyone here, about 50 people in this room, everyone here acquires the virtual reality. We have to tell that every student here is supposed to provide $1,200, which if you start removing the coins from your pocket, my God, you'll be ashamed. Another problem about online learning is that there is something we call virtual cessation. This refers to where developed nations such as the US and Russia, China, they intimidate people from less developed countries to start hating their own country. They take the souls and the minds of people from their country. I love Kenya because it's a very great country. But if virtual cessation is encouraged, we will not have people here. Presidents, Uhuru Kenyatta will be ruling bodies, but not the spirits and the wills of the people. This has been well outlined in Nigeria, where Lola Omompola in 2015 began an organization. This organization was to lead the people because in Nigeria, people are suffering. But her intention was to lead the people to have compassion for her people. But through incitement, millions of people joined this organization and they started talking about the ills in Nigeria. They started talking about ISIS, the terror attacks, the problems that these people are facing. So the president of Nigeria only started ruling the people's bodies. Peoples have long gone to US. They are no longer involved in Nigeria. So kindly accept the motion, accept defeat, accept the truth.
Proposition, you have 1 minute to make a final statement.
Doctors were trained using letters. Really? Funny. Another thing, terror attacks. Garissa University. Mahatma Gandhi Online University. We all want digital. True or false? True, quite true. Why don't we want to digitalize the face of education? As of many of the similar opinions say aye, as of many of the contrary opinion, do more research. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 1 minute for your final statement.
Something that you love to learn about traditional universities is oneness and unity. I hope you know this chant. Kogalo gor maya. That is a chant that creates unity. And for my final quote, if you see what I see, if you seek as I seek, and if you feel as I feel, you would know that, you would stand by me and know that one computer can do the work of 50 ordinary men. But no computer in this world ever made by man can do the work of one extraordinary man. Thank you.
This is a motion of relationship between online learning and traditional universities. So we're trying to see the benefits of both and the demerits of the other as well. Anestar Precious, the girls, good facts, good start. And I think I love the variety of courses that you gave in, how it could be very positive. Online learning can enable you interact with the world and the likes. Nonetheless, for you, the first speaker, Joyce, you're penalized because of time, all right? You don't want to go too much. Diana, your role as the second speaker is cross-examination. That wasn't done, but you stood out. There was something about you and your confidence, all right? So that was noted by the judges' table. Phoebe, you gave some facts, nonetheless, some of them, like, for example, 36% gone down, the number of universities that you gave. all those are facts, all right? It's good that you say according to who, all right? If it's the Ministry of Education, it has licensed how many universities, you want to say that, all right? It doesn't take even more than 5 seconds to reference, so you want to be that first. Nonetheless, I think there's something about you and the stage, and there's a way that you command. I think it's also because of your voice. There's a way that you command a stage presence. There's something about it. To Rongai, Agritech boys, good fight as well. I think you gave your best. Very good speakers as well. Rongai, the way you, Cole, the way you start us off by the definition of terms. And I like the way you brought us up with the examples of the e-waste that we could see, the affordability, and even the SDG reference. That was commendable. For Fantas, good speaker and presence. I thought you seemed as if you're just enjoying yourself on stage. I don't know whether it's because the audience was friendly to you or something, but it was okay, all right? Nonetheless, I feel if you master the content much so that you don't have to reference so much on the books, it could have made you probably even give more submissions, all right? So it's an art of practice. Matthias, fair, and a very good ending as well. That was well done, all right? I think even plus the ending, the audience as well resonated with you. For us, and from where we sit as judges, one of the questions is this. Traditional universities, that's I would say most of the countries have embraced this. So there could have been a lot of examples that you could have given us, the opposition, especially telling us why they are working. Online is on the growth as well. So for you, Anestar, as well, should have given us a lot of examples of how many even graduates that we have, because we even have some cabinet secretaries that have online degrees, all right, that have already been enabled and gotten these skills. So there could have been more research as well, but we commend what you did. Let's wait for the results. For us here, it was a tight one.
Anestar Precious, the judges awarded you 70.3%. Let's give them a round of applause.
Rongai Agritech High School, the judges awarded you with a 0.1% difference, 70.4%, making you the winners of the debate.
Congratulations to both teams, a job well done.
Congratulations to Rongai boys, Agritech High School. To the ladies from Anestar, do remember that sometimes victory comes in the form of bowing out gracefully. That's it from the Great Debaters Contest. Keep the conversation going on social media, #GDC for SDGs. I have been your host, Esperancia Kapanga.
And I am Chris Boru. Until next time, same place, same time.